Alright guys, okay, now we're going to do problem number 5 in the worksheet. We're going to skip 4 because 4 is actually just like problem number 3. So now we're going to talk about problem number 5 because that's a little bit different, okay? So what I want you guys to remember, okay, and I'm harping this over and over and over, you have to know what these black circles and these black squares mean, okay? In this particular example, okay, it means that they do not, okay, do not have a widow's peak. Alright, that's what that means. So, you always start by putting their genotypes first, okay? So we know that Ben is W, little w, little w. Okay, we know that Blanca is little w. Okay, we know that Liz is little w. Okay, and we know that Natalia is little w. So when you get to a test and you see a Punnett square or a pedigree analysis like this, always start with the black. Always start with the black. You always want to start with the black. Okay, and write their genotypes. Okay. Because that's the given, okay? This is, make sure that you understand, this is the given in the problem. So you don't have to guess. You don't have, this is what they're telling you, okay, every time, okay? Now that we know that it's a recessive trait, right? And you need 2 genes, okay, 1, 2, to be, to have a smooth hairline, right? Okay, now we can go ahead and look at the white squares, all right? So, let's start with Oscar. So I always like to work my way from bottom all the way to the top. So Oscar, gave Natalia one of her genes. Okay, so this W, okay, that Natalia has, it came from Oscar. So that means that Oscar has to have a little W. And because Oscar is not a black square, okay, then we know that he has a widow's peak, so the other gene should be a big W. So Oscar is heterozygous. So that's how you come up with Oscar. Now, let's take a look at Lisa. Here are Lisa's kids, right? So Lisa has to have a little W because she gave one to Blanca, and Liz is also her daughter. She gave one to Liz, alright? So Liz could not be, and Blanca, both of these, they could not be homozygous recessive unless Lisa had one to give, okay? So that's how we know she has a little W, because both her kids have it, alright? Now, both her kids have 2 copies of it, alright? So now, Lisa also has a widow's peak, so that means she has to have a dominant gene, right? So now it all works out, right? We have, okay, a little W that can go here, a little W that can go here. We're good, right? Okay, mom could give a little W that can go here. Dad gives a little, that's how we ended up with this, right? And same thing here. Okay, this parent, okay, could give this Natalia 1W, this parent could give 1W, and so now all our scenarios work out. Now let's talk about Rose. Rose, okay, we know that she has a dominant gene because she is not a black circle, right? And when we look at her dad, right, her dad only has little W's to give, so that means dad had to give her a recessive gene. Okay, so therefore, Rose is heterozygous, okay? And let's talk about Nicole and Karen. Nicole, alright, okay, mom, okay, this Liz over here, okay, let's erase it a little bit so you can see. Alright, mom, okay, only has recessive genes to give, okay, see, 2 of them, only these 2. So she's going to pass on 1, right, to Nicole. Right, so let's put that there. Alright, and she's going to pass 1 on to Karen too, because that's all she gets to give, right? Now, because they're white circles, that means that mom or dad had to pass this W in there, okay, a dominant gene. And so that's how we know that Nicole and Karen are heterozygous, alright? It's easy when one of the parents is homozygous recessive, it's always easy to determine what the genotypes are going to be. Now let's take a look at Rob. Rob, all we can determine about Rob is that he definitely has at least one dominant gene. We can't tell what the other one is because we don't know anything about his kids. Okay, this guy right here is an unborn child, so it doesn't tell us anything. Okay, all we know about Rob is that he has a dominant gene. So Rob can either be homozygous dominant or heterozygous. What are the chances that he's one of these? Well, it depends on what his parents have, okay? So let's just keep that in mind and know on a test, always start off, okay, figuring out what these black circles are first, and that's always the given, okay? And then use the information from these black circles to determine the genotypes of the generation before them, okay? And then as you get more information in there, it makes it easier to solve. All right? So to recap, Lisa is heterozygous, Ben is homozygous recessive, Rose is heterozygous, Blanca is homozygous recessive, Liz is homozygous recessive, Oscar is heterozygous, okay? Nicole is heterozygous, Karen is heterozygous, and Natalia is homozygous recessive, okay? And if you're able to work through this problem, okay, you're good to go. And remember Rob, okay, Rob is tricky. We can't tell what Rob is for certain. All right?